DevRel has seen huge leaps and bounds, and you said like about how it started with Microsoft and how that particular like conversation about developers came into being. And I guess after just that, when cloud industry came over, that was the next boom to DevRel. How do you think this particular way of DevRel is fitting into the Web3 world, or is not fitting the traditional way people are doing DevRel? Uh, what is the actual use case of DevRel in Web3 right now?
Yeah, so DevRel, I think just in general, like what a lot of people need to understand is like developer relations is so many different things. I actually, for my specific team, like have a Notion doc that kind of outlines some like of the high level sort of things that we really try to focus on. And like the very forefront of this is the relations part, like making like talking to people, making them like pulling them into a community so they don't feel like they're kind of sitting off in a silo. Like the impact that sort of like relationship has, even if it's like kind of one to many on Twitter, like, but have those conversations in your DMs or when you go to real life events, like those connections. Like for example, Nader Dabit is probably like one of the, if not the best DevRel in Web3, and like
Right.
he is actually, not only does he do what I do, Nader Dabit is actually doing all of the technical stuff and writing the content, and he's really changed a lot of lives in that way. Every DevRel is different. Like my team, everybody kind of has their own sort of specialty in here, like some more technical than others. And so it's the relation, developer experience is important. Solana is pretty new. Like developer experience is like, what was my experience as a developer onboarding to Solana? Like the ultimate goal here is those people not having to ask a single question in self onboarding. How do you get there? It's like structured learning, learning paths, educational courses. Developer support's one, like that's kind of hard to scale. Getting a Stack Exchange or a Stack Overflow is like, or a Stack Exchange, which we're trying to do right now, for our protocol, so that it's easier for sticky answers. Community growth is massive, and this kind of ties into the relations side. Like, go talk to people, like explain to them what you're doing, get them excited, and have these communities being built. Documentation is probably the ugliest part of DevRel, in my opinion, but it's super important that people, and like, so we have our core docs, and these are like very like programming model style stuff. Our DevRel team, Jacob Creech and Donnie, actually came up with the idea for the Solana cookbook. And this was so impactful. There's over 1 million page views since January. It provides like coding snippets and references, and like not only did they come up with the idea, but they created a project board and then funneled people into it to actually contribute. It's 80% created by the community. Like that's how passionate and hungry this community was. And by the way, people got hired directly out of the cookbook for contributing to it. So there's just like so many, you kind of just like try these experiments out and see what's working, and you double down on what is, and then you stop what doesn't. And like it's a lot of like intuition involved in this role compared to like a Web2 role that's very, very structured. You know, eventually we want to reach the sort of structure, but we don't know what that structure looks like fully yet until we run some of these sorts of experiments.
Right. I totally get you.